방송 광고라는 부메랑을 던져보세요. 소비자를 향해 정확히 날아가는 광고. 힘차게 돌아가는 경제. 부메랑처럼 다시 기업의 이익으로 되돌아오니까요. 방송 광고, 경제에 큰 힘이 됩니다. 부산 방송광고발전협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
Today is Labor Day. Here in Korea, we know it as 근로자의 날. By the way, do you have a day off? I know some of you do and some of you don't. For some companies or schools, they're taking off starting today, tomorrow, through the weekend, and through Monday and Tuesday, with Buddha's birthday and Children's Day coming up next week. May has arrived. Foreign tourist arrivals here in Korea reached over 1.61 million last month, slightly surpassing the pre-pandemic level. So I think a little bit of applause is warranted right there. That's definitely good news. According to the Korea Tourism Organization, KTO, that is 105% of the figure from April 2019 and an 8.2% increase from the same month last year. China sent the most visitors with 417,000 travelers, followed by Japan, Taiwan, the U.S., and Vietnam. Tourist numbers from Taiwan and the U.S. were especially strong, up over 40% and 50% from 2019, respectively. Meanwhile, travel from China and Japan is steadily recovering, reaching around 85% and 102% of the pre-COVID levels. Regionally, visitors from Africa and the Middle East exceeded the 2019 levels by 7%, and those from Europe and the Americas by 34% as well. So in total, 3.87 million foreign tourists came to Korea in the first quarter of the year, which is up nearly 14% from last year and just about back to the 2019 levels. However, outbound travel is booming even more. Over 2.19 million Koreans traveled abroad in April alone, and first quarter overseas departures totaled 7.8 million. That is roughly double the number of inbound visitors during the same period. So, the fact that, we are measuring things like pre-COVID and post-COVID, that's kind of sad, but the good news is it seems like everything has kind of rebounded. That's definitely good news. So that takes us to our text topic. Are you ready? What is your favorite travel spot here in Korea? So tell us about a destination you would recommend to others. 자, 한국에서 가장 좋아하는 여행지는 어딜까요? 다른 웨이버들에게 추천하고 싶은 여행지가 있다면 공유해주세요. So we're going to spread the wealth of information and be specific. Not just because I love going to Gyeongju because it's so close by and it's so beautiful, but where in Gyeongju? For example, specifically, let us know. And the great thing about you joining us on our YouTube, the chat room there, you can chat away. You can give brand names. I can't say the brand names on air, but you can through, the chat room. Definitely, you can share all that information with each other. So you can send in your messages through the YouTube chat room. We're streaming live right now. Once again, you can find our channel. Type in BEFM or Busan 영어 방송 to find us. You can join our over 131,000 subscribers. Yes, I love bragging about it, so I say it every day. And you can chat with other waivers, like I said. Pound 9050, shop 9050 on your phone. That's going to cost you 101. You can also reach me for free on Kakao Talk. To find our channel, our talk room there, that's also the same thing. BEFM, Busan 영어 방송, to add us as a friend first. You can send in your message, send in photos too. Maybe you have photos of your favorite destination. Wouldn't it be great? And then we can, if you send in your photo, by the way, you are implicitly saying it's okay to post on our channel as well. You can listen to our program through 90.5 and 103.3 FM on the radio if you're in Busan. We're streaming live right now on YouTube. You can watch again at your leisure. Also, you can download the BFM app or the Patbang app to listen to our program. It is Thursday. Yes. And you can definitely check out our lineup today. We have Dr. Ryu coming in for Ask Dr. Ryu Sang-hyo. Later on, we have Vasana for Buzz Breakdown. And of course, we have our usual guests as well. And, people filling in for Haley as well. You can stay tuned for that. We have our special interview today. We're going to be focusing on what's been happening in the India-Pakistan region because there's been a lot of tensions. There's always been tension in that area, but the rising tension and the Kashmir attack, we're going to focus on that because that happened just a few days back. So we're going to focus on that with our expert in hour number 2. And I'll be back with news overview. It is now 7:07. This is news overview. Prosecutors raid ex-president's private residence. The prosecution yesterday raided the residence of former President Yoon Suk-yeol as part of its investigation into various suspicions over relations between his family and a controversial shaman. Supreme Court to rule on Lee Jae-myung's election law violation case. The Supreme Court will announce its decision on Lee Jae-myung's Public Official Election Act case today at 3 p.m. The sentencing will be broadcast live on TV and the Supreme Court's YouTube channel. Yi will not appear in court as a defendant's attendance is not mandatory at the top court. DP launches election committee for June presidential election. The Democratic Party, or DP, yesterday launched an election committee that aims to woo both liberal and conservative voters with the presidential election just 34 days away. Han Duck-soo likely to resign today to run for president. Acting President Han Duck-soo is likely to resign today before announcing his bid for the June 3rd presidential election. Tomorrow, he has been a favorite among conservatives to challenge Lee Jae-myung. Emergency response order issued again as wildfire reignites in Daegu. The wildfire that reignited on Mount Hamji in Daegu showed limited spread thanks to overnight efforts by more than 650 personnel and 42 helicopters, reducing the fire line from 2.2 kilometers to about 500 meters. And this was News Overview. It's time for us to check in with Sudden. Let's say hi first. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, so this is now in Busan. Before we get into our segment about local news, I do want to ask you about our text topic. We're talking about your favorite destinations, travel spots here in Korea. So what do you have for us?
I'm not big on really traveling in here. But if I have to choose one
Yes.
in Seoul, I would say Yeonnam-dong. Can I?
Yeah,
can
of
I say
course.
Yeonnam-dong?
That's not a brand name. Yes, Yeonnam-dong is okay. Dongs are okay. Yes. What do you love about that area?
So what I like about this area is I'm such a foodie. I like finding out places where it have a good vibe and good food.
Yes.
And I remember that was first time I had salmon noodles for the first time in my life.
Salmon, yeonho, like
Yeonnam
noodles,
guksu.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's so refreshing, and I just never thought someone can create this kind of menu.
Yes.
And I had it, and I was like, those eye-opening moments that I become
like,
devoted to it after tasting just once.
연어 국수. 저 아직 안 먹어봐. I haven't tried it yet. I see it on like social media, SNS에 막 맨날 사진하고 영상 clips. I see it all the time.
Okay.
So I gotta try it.
I can send you locations if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, do so. Yes, definitely. Let's share. Well, we're going to jump into our first bit of news. So, what do you have for us?
Now here's a bit of good news for local businesses in Busan, especially in areas that have been struggling lately.
Okay.
The city has announced that 3 districts, Busan National University or PNU, Haran Station and Gijang Market have been selected for 2026 commercial revitalization project. It's called 2026 상권활성화 산업 in Korea. In Korean, a total of 16 billion won will be invested over next 5 years to breathe a new life into these commercial zones.
Yes, well, it sounds like quite a big push. So why these particular areas?
Well, the areas near PNU and Haran Station have some of the highest vacancy rates in city. And business there have been a steady decline, so they were identified as on high priority zones. And as for Gijang Market, it's the region's only traditional market.
Okay.
And it holds a lot of traditional and cultural value. And that heritage play a big role in its selection.
Yes. So how is the money going to be used? Because you said it's quite a budget, 16 billion won.
Each area has a tailored plan. Around PNU, for instance, the focus is on branding, creating a theme street, and improving the overall look of the area, all aimed at attracting more students and tourists. Gijang is taking a slightly different approach, linking its traditional market with local specialties like seaweed, green onions, and historical sites such as Gijang Fortress. They also offer consulting for business owners, run entrepreneurship programs, and develop theme street tied to the area's natural streams and old roads.
Right. So it does sound like the investment, it's not just like in buildings, but for the people and places. So hopefully we will see what this is going to turn out like and see how it helps the areas. Let's move on and talk about something related to what today is, which is Labor Day here in Korea, right?
Yeah. So today is Labor Day in South Korea, and in Busan, unpaid wages have been rising and not just slowly.
Yes.
Last year, over 107 billion won in wages were left unpaid in the city, according to the Korean Confederation of Trade Unions here in Busan. And that's quite a jump when you compare it to 2011. In fact, it's 128% increase, much steeper than the national average of 88%.
That's quite high. So do we know why Busan's numbers are so much higher than the national average?
Yes, a part of it has to do with a local economy. Busan's been hit by a slowdown, especially in the construction industry. And that's where a large portion of wage arrears are coming from, nearly a third. There are also loads of small businesses here, places with just a few employees.
Yes.
When times get tough, those workers are often the first to be left unpaid.
I see. Well, you know, I have to say though, although kind of understandable, this is really hard on workers, right? I mean, yes, the economy is slow, but workers need to be paid.
Right. How dare?
Yes.
Yeah, right. It is, and here's the thing. Many workers don't really report unpaid wages, either because they're afraid of losing their jobs or because it's hard to prove exactly how many hours they work.
Sure.
And one union official said the actual numbers are likely much higher than what's really on record.
Yes. So what are they asking for?
They want change, real change. That includes scrapping the rule that stops authorities from investigating wage theft unless the workers pushes for it.
Okay.
And they also want more time to file claims and more labor inspectors on the ground doing proper checks.
I see. So, this is important that we're talking about this on Labor Day because we want to protect all the laborers out there. That's definitely important.
Reminder.
Yes. So let's move on and talk about this next story. What's this about?
Right, so the city and Busan IT Industry Promotion Agency have just rolled out brand new support program, and it's actually the first of its kind in the country. And it's designed to help small and indie game studios get a bit of breathing room financially.
Okay.
Basically, they help cover the platform fees that developers usually have to pay when selling their games through app stores or console platforms.
Right. So, those fees, they can really pile up, they add up. So, how much support are we talking about?
Quite a bit, up to 15 million won a year per company.
Oh, really?
Who's eligible? It's open to small and mid-sized studios based in Busan. So long as they've been around for at least a year and have launched a commercial game after January 2023.
Okay.
Could be mobile and PC on console. And if a company done well in terms of hiring and bringing in investment or
Yes.
even getting noticed overseas, they will get some bonus points in this process.
Oh, nice. So let's talk about when you can apply or when is the close of the deadline?
You've got until 10 a.m. on the 14th of May. Applications are through eNaradom website.
I see. So you can check that out if that pertains to you or your company. Spread the word. All right, let's move on to our next bit of news. I think it's regarding Children's Day.
Yes, it is. If you're looking for a fun, family-friendly way to spend the early May holiday, you might want to check out and head over to 렛츠런파크 in Busan, Gyeongnam.
Yes, yes.
They will be hosting the Children's Play Festival on the 4th and 5th of May. Entry is free and the whole park will be buzzing with performances, hands-on activities and sing-along shows inspired by popular children's animations.
Ah, that sounds so cute. So what kind of performances are we talking about?
There will be puppet shows, a bubble magic, children's cheerleading and even appearances from well-known animated characters.
Okay.
On the 4th, they've got Mommy Katuri, Omma Katuri. And on the 5th, Brave Barbershop. Brave 이발소. Kids will be able to take photos with the characters after the show, which is always a hit.
Yes, yes. So, 아이가 아니라서 너무 슬퍼요. 어린이. I wish I had like young children so I could like have an excuse to attend and take photos. Well, I hear that it's more than just shows though, right?
Yes, over in the plaza, there will be a 25 different activity booth. So
Yes, we can pretend. I'm gonna I'm gonna steal my nephew. Pretend he's my son. Yes.
I need to stop. Children can play job experiences with the police, fire services, and learn about careers in the horse industry.
Oh.
And at the Horse Island Park area, they're also bringing in miniature horses. A giant 8-meter tall mama horse character will be on display. It's a big, soft-eyed figure representing the gentleness of horses.
Ah, it's all about horses. Yes.
Yeah.
So anything that we have to keep in mind as people look forward to this event?
Just to note, organizers have said that they're taking extra safety precautions,
Yes.
including on-site staff and dedicated control room throughout the event.
I see. So I have a feeling this is like the 엄마 까투리 and the brave 이발소 is it's
hard to
gonna be a
pronounce
hit.
it,
It's
yeah.
so difficult to pronounce, but
Right.
that they're gonna be a hit. Indeed. Well, thank you. 우리 누가 문자 보냈나요? 피디님인가요? Why am I not an 어린이? 저도 브레이브? 브레이브예요? 브레이드예요?
브레이브.
브레드 이발소예요? 브레드 이발소 보러 가고 싶어요. 아, 브레드 이발소군요.
브레이브 이발소.
아, 브레드. 아, 그래서 레일라님이 브레드라고 했구나. Okay, now we know. 브레드래요. 죄송합니다. So we will definitely check in with you tomorrow. So enjoy your day off. Have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you, Yuji.
All right. And I'll be back in just a moment with your weather and traffic.
Good morning.
Good morning.
굿모닝입니다.
굿모닝.
좋은 아침입니다.
모닝 웨이브 인 부산.
Morning wave in Busan.
모닝 웨이브 인 부산. Major news, local buzz, and expert takes. It's all here on Morning Wave in Busan. Brighten up your morning commute with Morning Wave in Busan. Morning Wave in Busan.
It's now time for our top stories. We have Claire in the studio with us. Good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, our producer didn't want your voice on air. I'm just kidding. No, hey. So before we jump into our top stories, I want your take. Our text topic today is about domestic travel. Your favorite spots in Korea. Do you have like a favorite destination? Like, hey, if my friends from abroad came, I really want to take them here, whether it's in Busan or anywhere in Korea. Where would it be? Please say you have one.
I love
Anywhere.
Jeju.
Oh, Jeju.
Yeah.
Do, yes. Yes, it's a do. It's an island. So what do you love particularly about Jeju-do?
I think obviously they have to travel the mainland
Yes.
first,
Uh-huh.
but that has like really exotic atmosphere. The beach,
Yes.
so pretty, and
Right.
it's quite different. And they have their own culture.
That's
I love
true.
that part. Yeah,
Right, and even like the language, the dialect, it's very unique.
language
And
yes.
of
fascinating.
course, like you know that hit drama. I forgot the name of the drama, but you know that drama on Flix. Really like quite unique.
Yeah,
Sometimes difficult to understand even.
I had a not incident, but once I didn't really understand at all. Like I had some 해녀체험. I did it.
You did it.
And then when 해녀 할머니 explained it to me, it was clear because she
Yes.
was using the normal Korean.
Right,
And-
standard Korean. Okay.
And then when we were showering, she was talking to her other 해녀 할머니. I did not understand a bit of it. Like,
So she could switch it on and off.
yeah. And she was, I heard this noise, but I couldn't understand
Understand what she was saying. It was like
And
a
then
different language.
That was the language of Jeju 방언. It was so fascinating.
Ooh, indeed. Well, thanks for sharing. And we're going to jump into. Oh, 맞아요. Drift monkey 폭삭. I couldn't think of it in Korean. When life gives you, you know.
I thought we
땡.
you
Yes.
shouldn't mention it. I
Yeah.
thought.
When life gives you thing.
Yeah.
That's citrus fruit, yes. All right, we're going to jump into our first story. So this is regarding the presidential residence being raided, right?
Prosecutors have conducted a search and seizure of former President Yoon Suk-yeol's private residence.
His actual home.
Yes, his apartment in 서초동 called Aquavista. The raid is part of a bribery investigation involving his wife Kim Gun-hee and Jeon Sung-bae, also known as 건진법사.
Well, I remember that area has, some security status. So did that affect this, whole search?
Very good memory. While it's a guarded zone, it's not classified like a military or national security site. So prosecutors didn't need any special approval to carry out the raid.
So what were they after?
Evidence of gift exchanges and influence peddling. So they seized Kim's phone and computer and also searched the old Kobana Contents office and the home of two aides.
But I thought that the office was shut down.
Officially, yes, in
Okay.
2022, but it was still in use. Some of their belongings had even been moved there from the presidential residence. The raid ended around 3:40 p.m. Yesterday after 6 hours.
6 hours of search and seizure. Let's go back to the whole gift issue. Where did these gifts allegedly come from?
So a former Unification Church 통일교 executive allegedly gave Jeon a diamond necklace worth 60 million won and luxury bags to pass to Kim Gun-hee.
Yes. So were these, allegedly given as bribes?
So that's what prosecutors are investigating. The
Okay.
theory is the gifts were part of lobbying efforts tied to government funding for overseas development projects, especially in Cambodia.
Oh, really? So how does this all connect, though?
Through ODA, Official Development Assistance, or 공적 개발 원조, is taxpayer-funded aid to developing countries. Under Yoon's presidency, over 129 billion won was allocated to Cambodia and Indonesia.
That is a lot of money, though.
Exactly. Prosecutors are checking briefing notes and travel records to see if any lobbying was involved. John, meanwhile, claims he lost the gifts and never delivered them.
Speaking of Tana, what's his status right now?
He's been named as the suspect under the Improper Solicitation and Graft Act, 부정 청탁 및 금품 등 수수의 금지에 관한 법. He's also on trial for receiving 100 million won in illegal political funds during the 2018 local elections.
I see. So he's not really new to this.
Not at all. He worked on Yoon's 2022 campaign, claimed close ties to the couple, and even advised Kim's company back in 2013.
And so what now?
He and his daughter and his brother-in-law are all under a travel ban. Prosecutors suspect he acted as a fixer, accepting money for spiritual prayer fees and setting up high-level meetings.
So this isn't about what some may perceive to be as kind of like one shady character, but it's like a part of a larger network?
Exactly. And if investigators find more evidence, Kim Gun-hee and even Yoon himself could eventually face charges.
Yes.
Meanwhile, in a separate but related case,
Right.
prosecutors also summoned political broker Myung Tae-gyun for a second day of questioning yesterday.
Right. So his name we have seen a lot splashed in the news, but let's get the backdrop. What's his story?
Briefly, he's being investigated for poll manipulation and candidate nomination interference, possibly on behalf of Yoon and Kim. He claims he met Seoul Mayor Oh Se-hoon 7 times and even turned over his phone as evidence.
Yes. And his link to Chun. Is there a link?
He says there is none, claims he never met him and doesn't even have his name in his contacts.
But it seems that at least authorities think that he is a key figure in this whole story.
Definitely, prosecutors think he may have helped secure nominations in exchange for favors, possibly Kim Gun-hee's involvement.
So both cases seem to be thus far about money and influence and maybe even insider access.
Yes, and they could reshape how people view Yoon's post-presidency legacy.
Yes, and now with Kim Gun-hee's phone and files, they're now in the hands of the prosecutors, it seems.
What they uncover next could determine whether these investigations stays focused on Chun or moves even closer to the couple at the center of it all.
I see. So this is something, of course, we're going to continue to follow. Thank you for giving us a thorough update. Now we're going to move on to education, of course, a topic that is very much being followed as well here in Korea. Yesterday was actually a critical deadline for medical students across the country, right?
Yes, and now we're seeing the fallout. Most of Korea's 40 medical schools had set yesterday as the cutoff. Any student who didn't return by midnight is now at risk of academic failure or yugup.
So how many students are we talking about?
There are about 19,760 enrolled students, and with attendance still under 30% at many schools, more than 10,000 students could be marked as failed.
That is a significant number. So are there any exceptions?
None. The Ministry of Education and university presidents have made it clear no makeup classes, no later returns, no flexibility. Schools that allow delays must now justify them with formal documentation.
So how are the schools responding?
So each school is compiling its list of non-returning students and will submit it to the ministry by May 7th. For instance, Catholic Kwangdong University already prepared an official failure notice. Gangwon-daeakgo says it'll finalize decision in July, but with most students still absent, they expect students will have to repeat the year.
Okay.
Hanlim University hasn't made a formal call yet, and Yonsei University Wonju department set an earlier deadline. Students who missed it will likely be failed for insufficient attendance.
Yes, so what is the biggest concern right now?
It's called tripling.
Tripling? What is tripling? It doesn't sound good, but what is it?
It's not that. That's when 3 full cohorts, the 2024, 2025, and 2026 classes end up taking first-year courses together next spring.
Oh, goodness.
It will overwhelm classrooms, clinical training slots, and faculty capacity.
I can't even fathom it because I teach at a college. I'm having three classes, all conversion a year is well, are any schools trying to get ahead of this?
Some are. Donga University in Busan, for example, has changed its policy to give 26학번 26 신입생 priority in course registration. Others are considering similar adjustments.
The big question is this. Are students reconsidering their stance?
Actually, yes. A government-backed survey conducted from April 25th to 29th showed that 56.7% of students support returning to class. And among those who answered, nearly 88% expressed expressed willingness to resume their studies.
So it seems among the students, at least among the med students, like, they kind of want to, at least some of them, most of them
back.
do, they want to go back. So there's some hope?
There is, but for many, it's already too late. Even if they return now, they've missed too much.
Right.
The ministry says no retroactive forgiveness. Students who miss the deadline will still fail the semester.
And if they keep failing, what does that mean?
Then expulsion becomes a real risk. Most schools allow 2 to 4 failures before dismissing a student. Without a quick resolution, we could see large numbers of dismissal by year end.
And when you think about the fact that these students, they studied
How
for so
hard.
long and so hard to get into med
the-
school. So what's next?
University will report their final numbers by next week, and the ministry will begin reviewing. But for thousands of med students, this school year is effectively over.
Yes, indeed. All right. For now, we're going to move on to our next story. A tragic story from overseas. There was a deadly shooting in Sweden.
Yes, on April 29th, 3 people were killed in a broad daylight shooting in the central university city of Uppsala, Sweden.
What do we know so far?
A 16-year-old suspect was arrested just hours after the incident. According to police, the teen walked into a hair salon and opened fire, killing 3 people and aged between 15 and 20. The shooter then fled on a scooter but was later arrested at his home.
Oh my gosh, what a horrifying story. Any idea what the motive was?
Police say it appears to be a lone act, but investigations are ongoing. Some local media reported that at least one of the victims may have had gang ties, but police haven't confirmed yet.
Oh, so normally, I'm just saying, stereotypically, we don't equate Sweden and gangs, right? So
Yes.
is gang violence common there?
Unfortunately, yes, Sweden has been facing a rise in gang-related crime,
Okay.
especially involving teenagers. Criminal groups are reportedly recruiting minors online, taking advantage of Sweden's law that sets the age of criminal responsibility at 15.
And Uppsala's a university town, correct?
It is. It's home to Uppsala University, Sweden's top academic institution.
Yes, yes.
But at the same time, the city is also known as a base for 2 of the country's most notorious gangs.
And so I hear that this happened right before a major festival there, right?
Yes, the shooting occurred a day before the big Spring Festival, which brings over 100,000 people into the city every year. The timing has heightened public concern.
Yes, indeed. So has Sweden had other recent shootings? I do remember there was one, right?
Tragically, yes. Just in February, a mass shooting at an adult education center in
Right.
Stockholm left 10 people dead, marking one of the worst gun violence incidents in Swedish history. That led to calls for tougher gun laws, which the government has promised to act on.
Well, obviously, it's not just one case. There are other bouts of violence, maybe even a pattern.
Exactly. What we're seeing is growing concern about youth violence, online gang recruitment, and weak firearms regulation, all coming to a head in cities like Uppsala.
Tragic story, but thank you for reporting on, on violence where we normally don't associate violence with. Yes. Well, we're going to call it a wrap actually for today, but thank you so much for all the news, and we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Claire.
See ya.
All right. It's time for our first song break, so here it is. This is Rubber by Primary.
이해는 머리로 날 순 없더라 친구들이 그만이라는 이유를 이제 알겠어 너가 혼자 하는 연애 노린 가서 너 혼자 해 바빠 Wherever you go We try to love But you're never been satisfied with me no more. Wherever I go, we will try to flow. I know comfort, I know we don't get along. 아하, 다르고 다르게도 또 왜 이래 안 한다고 말해놓고 자꾸 이럴래 네가 모르는 건 나도 몰라서 봐봐 You're talking crazy 저길래 이래 그건 내가 나서서 할 일이 아냐 그건 우리가 할 일이 아냐 내일에 뭐 좋은 게 좋은 거지 나도 잘 몰라 Don't ask me baby 보여지는 연애 도대체 누구를 위한 거야 나는 그런 사람이 아니야 제발 기모만 주지 좀만 가버리고 You try to love But you'll never be satisfied with me no more Wherever I go We will try to flow I know comfort, I know we don't get along 아하, 다르고 다르게도 또 왜 이래 안 한다고 말해놓고 자꾸 이럴래 네가 모르는 건 나도 몰라서 봐봐 You're talking crazy 저길래 이래 그건 내가 나서서 할 일이 아냐 그건 우리가 할 일이 아냐 내일에 뭐 좋은 게 좋은 거지 나도 잘 몰라 Don't ask me baby Lover Be humble you know We have to see each other I say what you know
It's now time for your traffic report. It looks a little congested on 반영로 from 문내과의원 to Myeongyun intersection right now. It's backed up on 금정로 from 금정 police station, that area to Oncheon Bridge intersection. And there's some backup on 범일로 from Hangman three-way intersection to Pomnaekor intersection. As for the weather, it's currently 17 degrees Celsius. It's going to go up to 22 today. However, there is a chance of rain in the afternoon. We're looking at 70%. So play it safe and keep an umbrella handy today. This was your traffic and weather. It is time for Ask Dr. Liu. And guess what? Dr. Liu is here. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm, your wonderful, beautiful smile just made my day.
Yay! This is, somebody was asking, they said like I was wearing like 무슨, like something, what was it? Strawberry milk 딸기 우유? This is my 여친 look because I have a date after the show. Ooh. So I have a date right after with my roommate. Is my roommate up? Probably not. He's probably still in bed. 우리 오늘 재밌는 거 한다고 하네요. I hope you planned something. 그래서 I want to look extra special for our date. So anyway, thank you. You're so sweet. So today for our segment, though, I hear you have something really interesting for our waivers. So what have you brought for us, Dr. Liu?
Okay, today I'm going to talk about health benefits of having pets.
Oh, pets.
Okay.
But I do want to ask you, Dr. Liu, do you have a pet?
Oh, yes, I have a pet.
Oh, what do you have? What do you have?
Small reptile gecko.
reptile.
It's so cute.
Really?
Yeah.
진짜?
I was a little hesitant to touch it, but once you get to know it, once you get
What's its name? 이름이
it's
뭐예요?
creamy.
Creamy?
Yeah. because
Why creamy?
The color of the tail is similar to the top of the ice cafe latte cream.
Oh, creamy.
Yeah.
Is it a boy or a girl? Do we
I don't know. Because it's so young. That's why.
아직 몰라요?
예, 아직 몰라요.
So we call it, okay, creamy.
Creamy.
Because we don't know yet.
Yeah, but I hope it's a kind of female gender. I prefer.
How big is creamy? Because 약간 사진을 볼 때 we can't really tell how
Maybe
long.
5 centimeters.
Oh,
less
like
than,
your finger,
yeah,
your index finger?
Index finger size.
Oh, I see now. Oh, it's kind of cute now. I was thinking like a little bit bigger, so I was kind of like a little bit scared. Oh, 귀엽네요. It's kind of cute. 네.
When you touch it, the skin is so soft,
Really?
and then it's really, how can I say? It's cushion. It feels like cushion.
Really, very soft.
Yeah, very soft.
And then like because I've never had a reptile as a pet. So can you actually like 교류가 돼요?
예, 맞아요.
돼요?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, this
So there's like social interaction with Creamy?
not social action, but we're gonna dive into that.
We
topic.
are okay. I'm so curious now. I have so many questions because it's called Ask Dr. Do. That's why. Okay, so tell us more about what you want to say regarding like pets. Because you have a pet, I have many pets at home as well.
Okay.
How
many pets? What kind of pets?
I
do you
have 4 cats and a rabbit. And they all cohabitate together. The rabbit is not in a cage. It's a free roaming. My rabbit Jackson is the king of the cats.
You can tell each cat has their own unique personality.
Of course, absolutely. 너무 달라요. So different and so unique. Yes. So I'm excited about this.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating topic. First of all, a lot of research done by many scientists.
Yes.
And research funded by the National Institutes of Health, which stands for NIH, shows that animals like from dogs, cats, and even fish and guinea pigs
Yes.
can significantly improve both our physical and mental health. Yeah, just being around pets can lower cortisol level, which is our main stress hormone.
Sure.
And it reduces our blood pressure.
Yes.
And also it's also help us to get rid of or ease loneliness and boost social support and lift our mood.
I think everything you said so far, I think is so true. Like when I'm stressed out, I love to pet my rabbit, Jackson. 근데 기분이 정말 like I feel myself like I'm calming down as I'm like stroking his fur, and then like I'm just concentrating on like petting him, and I feel better. I definitely feel better.
That's right. That's so true. Medical
Yes.
wise, even therapy dogs are brought into hospitals or nursing homes. It helps patients cope with serious illnesses like cancers or some other ailments. A doctor at the NIH is the largest research agency in the world. They describe that dogs as a natural mindfulness teachers and fully present, fully attentive, and deeply comforting.
That's deep.
Yeah.
We need to kind of let that sink in. I mean, fully present. So they're really there for you. And then fully attentive, meaning they're paying attention to you. And comforting, 위로까지 해준다고요.
그렇죠.
개들이요.
That's so true.
사람보다 낫네요. Some people.
That's right. Animals
Right.
don't betray us.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Some people can betray you, but apparently not dogs. Yes. So, but let's talk about the NIH because some people might be wondering. 자꾸 National Institutes of Health, NIH. It might be kind of new to our listeners. What is the NIH?
Okay, I don't know how to translate into Korean.
Right.
But 국립보건원이라고 하더라고.
맞아요.
국립보건원.
네네네.
They spend whopping $46 billion a year.
A year.
Yeah.
네.
Yeah.
Just on research.
It's just research.
Yes. It's a research agency.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
So they say that pets like dogs, and even just watching fish can really help for our mental and physical health as well.
Yes.
Okay. If you need more physical activity,
Yes.
a dog is very perfect example because you have to walk it several times a day.
That's true.
And that improves our heart rate, improves our heart's health. And also, if you need some kind of a stress relief,
Yes.
and just watching a fish swim calmly in a tank, it can lower your anxiety.
I was going to ask you this, Dr. Duke. I was going to say, you mentioned earlier, from dogs and cats to fish and guinea pigs. I was wondering about the fish. I was like if you have a kumung or a fish at home, 물고기 at home, how can that help you? But just watching fish in a tank, that can help with the stress levels?
Yeah, that's right. These days, a lot of informations are all over the world. Even if you don't want to watch some kind of a tragic, some sad stories or news, you couldn't help but sometimes. But watching fish swimming in a tank, it's it helps you in a spacing out, and also it releases some kind of it lowers your cortisol level, like I said earlier.
Yes.
And then it relieves. It makes you really calm.
Even our PD님, 예지 PD님 says, 집에 본가에서도 금붕어를 키우는데 저도 가끔 물멍하면서 calm해진다고 하네요. So
Yeah.
I guess it's true for people who do have fish or have a fish tank that it tends to kind of calm you down as you kind of gaze into the water and just, kind of de-stress, not think about other stuff. You can just concentrate on the fish.
Absolutely. So NIH, there's a specific sector in the NIH
Yes.
organization, Human Animal Interaction Research Program. They found that kids with ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, who read therapy dogs every week showed improved social skills and better cooperation and fewer behavioral issues.
Wait. So let's slow down a little. So
Okay.
the kids with ADHD, they read to dogs. 그러니까 ADHD 아이들이 책을 개들한테 읽었다고요?
그렇죠.
They were
집중력
reading
결핍장애 이런 아이들한테.
But I mean, the dogs don't really understand, but it helped the kids.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Of course, the dog doesn't, follow the plot.
They're not that smart, right?
Yeah.
They are loyal,
Yeah,
but
they're
not that
loyal.
smart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but point is that the child feels really safe and unjudged. So that's
important.
why they gain reading confidence without fear of mistakes.
Yes.
Back when I was in elementary school,
Yes.
there were times when a teacher made us read books aloud.
Yes.
And I was really scared of being, scolded when I didn't read really well. So I had some kind of a incident, my personal anecdotal experience with this one. But dogs, and they very fully attended, and also they are the child with ADHD, really they feel really safe and unjudged. And similarly, children with autism were found to be calmer and more socially engaged when they play with guinea pigs in classroom.
Really? Wow. So I love the whole idea, dogs and now guinea pigs, that they are helping kids. Yes.
Yeah, even teens with type 1 diabetes. There are two types of diabetes.
Yes.
Type 1 is inherited one. Their pancreas is totally destroyed by some autoimmune response.
Okay.
So they don't produce insulin.
Okay.
So children sometimes suffer from this kind of diabetes. But for when it comes to treating or managing diabetes, is the maintaining a regular routine, like go to bed at about the same time and having a regular meal and very healthy diet. Those are the cornerstone of maintaining a healthy life.
Sure.
But type 1 diabetes teens, when they care for pet fish, it's just feeding them and checking water levels. They become more disciplined
Yes.
about monitoring their blood sugar level. So pets is quietly teach us how to focus and how to be responsible, and also how to be resilient when it comes to everything.
That's so true, though. I think that when you have a pet, especially if you have children in the home, it teaches them to be really responsible. Like for the 4 cats and the 1 rabbit, since the kids were little, each of them, the 3 kids, they had a chore to do for the pets. The rule was, because the thing was this, I told my roommate, I was like, you know what? If you're going to bring pets into the home, meaning me, I'm not going to do anything. You 4 have to take care of the pets. That was the deal.
Okay.
That was so they clean the litter. They change the water. All 5 bowls every day. They do the litter every day, and they vacuum every day. That was the deal.
맞아요.
그렇게 해야 돼요.
That's
And then
right.
so they do it, and then it makes them really disciplined and responsible. So I think everything you said is spot on. We also have a message from Layla who says, because you talked about the dogs, Dr. Liu. They listen, but they don't judge the kids when they read them the stories.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree. That is so true, right?
Yeah, it's not only applied to some patients with ADHD or some other autism. It's also applied to younger kids, every kids.
All of us, even adults, I'm thinking.
That's right.
You can say anything to your dog or cat and they're not going to judge you.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
They're fully attentive. Their ears are kind of perked up.
네.
Yeah, they're all ears. They're all eyes.
Right. And I know you have something additional information regarding Parkinson's. So, Shirley, what would you like to say regarding this information?
Okay, incredibly, there was a day about 2 weeks ago, April 11th, was World Parkinson's Day.
Yes.
And then in Belgium, patient groups launched the Dogs for Parkinson campaign.
Oh.
And it's an organized movement because walking dogs really helps them. Parkinson's disease, because I'm a neurologist, I'm really into this kind of topic.
Yes.
It causes tremor and stiffness and balance problem. But physical activity is the key to slow down the progression of the disease.
Sure.
So far, there's no cure for Parkinson's disease, and no medication has yet to be proven to slow down the progression of the Parkinson's. See, there are a few things that slow down the disease progression. One of them is physical activity.
Right.
So walking a dog several times really helps. And also another thing is that, the pull of the leash, when you walk the dog.
Yes.
The pull of the leash acts as an external cue. External cue is the thing that's very fascinating because they have trouble start walking, they have trouble stop walking, and both start walking. So which is called freezing gait. When they have some kind of external cue, they can easily move their body easily.
Yes.
So it helps them to walk really easily, and then also improves their balance skills and engaging the sense, and then keeps patients motivated.
Which is amazing, and that is why we covered this topic today.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for bringing a fascinating topic to all our waivers out there. And once again, I love this segment, and I love having you on our show. Thank you for coming in today.
It's always my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Everybody, this was Dr. Liu. Ask Dr. Liu is the name of the segment. He'll be back next week, and I'll be back in hour number 2. In the meantime, this is New Day by Paul Kim. Enjoy.
우연히 올려다본 거리 내가 알고 있는 그대로 지나가는 사람 맞춰 익숙한 걸 유난히 푸른 저 하늘이 오늘따라 낯설게 보여 흥얼대던 노래 맞춰 새로운 걸 그땐 아픈 마음 견디지 못해 아무 말도 못했죠 그런 사랑이 있고 나서야 비로소 알았어 익숙하지만 새로운 누군가를 만나는 일 원한다고 쉽게 오지 않을 마법 같은 일 너무 쉽게 알아버려 이루어질 거라 믿으면 언젠간 꼭 오겠지 유난히 빛나는 저 별이 내게 말을 건 것 같아서 한참 동안 길에 서서 잠 못 드는 밤 이런 나의 마음을 아는지 설레이는 나를 아는지 이름 모를 사람들도 빛이 나는 걸 저는 만남을 쉽게 여겼지 아무것도 모르고 그런 사랑이 있고 나서야 이제는 알겠어
Your bridge to the world. Beautiful exhibitions, vibrant culture, convenient facilities, and delicious foods unique to Busan. With all the beauty and charm of the amazing city of Busan, you'll find yourself right at home in this ever-changing tourism paradise. So stay with us a while. Busan, your #1 tourist destination. Your home, away from home. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM, Busan 영어 방송.
The weather is so nice today. I'm sure this won't be a big deal.
A 3-second long lapse in judgment can burn up an entire mountain, which will take 100 years to recover. We can protect these lush forests if you follow these guidelines. First, do not bring flammable materials to the mountains. Second, do not cook or camp in the mountains. Third, do not litter cigarette butts. Your small actions are the first step towards protecting the beautiful forest. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산 영어 방송.
Want to be a friend of BFM Busan 영어 방송? You can chat with BFM through our Kakao Talk service. You can share your messages and photos through Kakao Talk, and you can easily become BFM's Kakao friend by searching BFM through the Find a Friend option. Come share and chat with us at BFM anytime, anywhere for free. Don't forget to add BFM 부산 영어 방송 to your Kakao friends list.
Man, I haven't got a chance. I call
The time is now 8 o'clock.
It's now 8 o'clock. This is hour number 2 of Morning Wave in Busan. Let's kick it off with Spotlight News. Prosecutors raid ex-president's private residence. Prosecutors yesterday raided the residence of former President Yoon Suk-yeol amid an investigation into alleged ties between his family and controversial shaman Chun Sung-bae, known as Konjin. The Seoul Southern District Prosecutor's Office is looking into claims that a high-ranking Unification Church official gifted Chun a diamond necklace and a luxury bag shortly after Yoon's 2022 election, allegedly intended for former First Lady Kim Gun-hee. Supreme Court to rule on Lee Jae-myung's election law violation case. The Supreme Court will broadcast live its sentencing of Democratic Party or DP presidential candidate Lee Jae-myung's election law case scheduled for 3 p.m. today. The trial, which can be viewed on TV or YouTube, marks a rare public airing of a politically sensitive ruling. Lee, acquitted by a high court of making false claims during the 2022 race, will not attend. For the ruling, the court will likely either confirm and finalize the high court's ruling or send it back to the lower court if it finds fault. DP launches election committee for June presidential election. The Democratic Party yesterday launched an election committee aimed at attracting both liberal and conservative voters. Candidate Lee Jae-myung, leading in polls, pledged to restore democracy and national unity, vowing to end controversy over the previous president's failed martial law bid. The committee includes figures across the political spectrum, including former Environment Minister Yoon Yeo-jun and DP floor leader Park Chan-dae as co-chairs. Han Duck-soo likely to resign today to run for president. Acting President Han Duck-soo is expected to resign today ahead of officially announcing his presidential bid tomorrow for the June 3rd election. Seen as a leading conservative contender against DP candidate Lee Jae-myung, Han is likely to step down after morning engagements, according to sources. His campaign launch will include a national address outlining his vision for unity and ending political strife that hampers Korea's economic and social progress. Reignited Daegu wildfire contained after overnight efforts. As of broadcast time, the Korea Forest Service deployed 656 firefighters and 33 firefighting vehicles to Mount Hamji overnight despite challenges posed by rough terrain without access roads. At sunrise, 42 helicopters were mobilized in sequence to fully extinguish the blaze, with authorities focusing all efforts on bringing the main fire under control. They've brought down the remaining fire line to approximately 500 meters. And this was Spotlight News. It's time for Wagger Wagger. Guess who's back? Steve is back. Woo!
Hello. Good to be back again. It's my second day.
Yes, yes. So he is back, and I know he is back by popular demand because you guys were really happy that he was in the studio. So
thank you,
how
guys.
was it? Were you nervous or was it fun?
I mean, I was really nervous yesterday.
But you're
just
okay
the
today?
beginning. But I'm used to it now.
You grew
I think
into
it's
it,
okay.
right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, by coincidence, I turned on the radio because my radio is always tuned into 90.5 FM in the car, right?
당연하죠.
그쵸. So I was driving into work and 딱 틀자마자, it was like pure coincidence. I heard you and Minsu talking on that show that I shall not name.
Okay.
But 근데 딱 트는 순간 you guys were talking about like you and me. And I was like, 설마, like, 뭔 얘기지? And so I went, at a red light, I looked at the YouTube feed. I was like, and then like photos of you and I with like the most unserious faces.
Yeah.
사진 무슨 안티가 아니고 계속 우리 웃는 사진인데 안 예쁘게 웃는 사진을 올렸더라고요.
그걸 일부러 그렇게 한 겁니다.
그쵸. 누구죠?
제가 한 건 아니에요. Not me.
I think it's like 조 부장님? 아니면 뉴피디아
아니라고는 안 할게요.
누군지 모르겠어요. 우리 안티들인 것 같아요. 자, we're gonna jump into our first Wagger story. So, what's it about?
First up, SK Telecom is once again in the spotlight, this time due to a serious data breach.
Yes.
The Seoul Metropolitan Police Agency Cyber Investigation Division has officially launched a full investigation into a recent hacking attack on SK Telecom following initial internal inquiries.
Yes. So once again, just in case people didn't tune in yesterday, explain what happened.
On April 19th, at around 11:40 p.m., SK Telecom detected suspicious activity involving malicious code. It was later confirmed that some users used some data, essentially unique identifiers tied to each subscriber, had been leaked.
Yes.
The company responded quickly, deleting the malware and isolating the affected devices. They then reported the incident to the police, which led to the launch of an official investigation.
Indeed. So let's talk about how serious this case is, though.
It's quite pretty serious.
Right.
The police have formed a dedicated task force of 22 members led by the head of the Cyber Investigation Division. Their aim is to uncover how the malware entered SK Telecom's system and who was behind the attack. They're also working with both domestic and international partners to track the hackers.
Yes, and given the growing concern over data security, what is the police's stance on this?
In their statement, the police emphasized that they will carry out a systematic and intensive investigation using expert cybercrime personnel, especially because this case has drawn widespread public attention.
Indeed. And I know this is affecting a lot of people across the country because, this is like one of the big three, the telecoms, right?
Right.
All right. So thanks for the latest on this. We're going to move on to our next story. What's this one about?
Next, police have publicly identified the man accused of fatally stabbing a woman at a supermarket in Myeodong.
Oh, this story, yes.
And his name is Kim Sung-jin, a 32-year-old male, and his photo was released on April 29th on the Seoul Metropolitan Police website.
Right, so normally this doesn't happen in Korea, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they do like the pixelation, 모직 처리하잖아요.
그쵸.
So why was his identity disclosed this time?
Authorities cited the extreme brutality of the crime and the need to prevent similar incidents. A review committee approved the disclosure, and Kim did not object. His information will remain online for 30 days.
Right. So what happened like at the scene? And this is like a trigger warning for anybody watching, young kids. You might want to lower the volume a little right now. Yes.
Right. On April 22nd, around 6:20 p.m., Kim entered a supermarket near Mia Station, opened a knife from the shelf, and began stabbing customers.
Right.
A woman in her 60s died, while another in her 40s was injured but is recovering.
Right, and apparently the person in her 40s, I think, was a worker in that store. And so tragic. So what happened after the stabbing?
Kim calmly walked to a nearby alley, lit a cigarette, and called the police himself. He said, "You can track my location," and confessed to the attack. He had been wearing a patient gown from a nearby orthopedic clinic and was seen drinking soju before the incident.
Yes, and so this is what unnerved a lot of people. Like, not only did he commit this heinous act, allegedly, and then he had the audacity to say, hey, wait, until I finish, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So what's next in the investigation?
Kim is now in custody. Police are analyzing his phone and working with profilers to understand his motives.
Yes.
Preliminary drug tests were negative, but further toxicology tests are underway to assess mental health factors.
I see. Do you think, or maybe the authorities, do they think that this could lead to any policy changes?
Given the shocking nature of the attack, authorities may soon review safety protocols and mental health assessments in public areas. news.
Yes, indeed. So I certainly hope they at least review it because, I mean, we don't want to hear about these kind of stories. It's so tragic and scary at the same time. All right, on to our next story. I hope it's not as scary. No?
A bit light one.
Okay, a little bit lighter. Okay. Yes.
Amazon recently considered displaying import tariffs next to certain product prices.
Oh.
But scrapped the idea after sharp criticism from the White House.
Ooh, pressure. But let's talk about what exactly Amazon was planning. So what were they planning to do?
Okay. A team from its budget store, Amazon Hall, looked into showing tariff costs on low-priced items, many of which are imported from China. But the company quickly clarified that this idea was never approved for the main site and won't be implemented.
So basically, like they would have a product and they were planning for certain products like 이 관세가 얼마인지를 옆에다가 표시를 하려고 그런 거예요. Ouch! Okay, so I'm just saying that would have been like, ooh. So why the backlash?
Reports say former President Donald Trump personally called Amazon founder Jeff Bezos to complain. White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt called the idea hostile and political. And a question why Amazon didn't propose this during the Biden-era inflation spike.
Oh, Leslie, she's from Colorado, American. She's like, in her words, not mine, Trump threw a hissy fit. That's what she says. Not mine. Okay. I'm just repeating what Leslie said. Okay. So was there more behind the criticism?
Leavitt also cited a 2021 Reuters article accusing Amazon of cooperating with Chinese authorities to censor book reviews. He used it to question Amazon's motives and judgment.
So is this a sign of possibly, maybe, like growing tension between, the sitting president, Donald Trump, and, billionaire extraordinaire Jeff Bezos?
Possibly. While Amazon supported Trump's inauguration earlier this year with $1 million donation, this latest clash suggests deeper friction, especially with Amazon's business heavily tied to low-cost Chinese imports, now threatened by high tariffs.
Right, because when it comes down to it, I'm not speaking on behalf of Bezos, but for any entrepreneur, it's like the bottom line is literally like the bottom line, right? They're in it for, money or making money, businessmen, right? So, or business people. So,
그렇죠.
Yes. 사업자는 it's like the bottom line, the dollar.
그렇죠.
I'm just saying. All right. Moving on to our next story. This is about Australia.
Yeah.
So what's it about?
Now for a heartbreaking story from Australia.
Yes.
The state of Victoria has come under global criticism after it was revealed that over 700 wild koalas were shot dead.
We're talking about like the koala bear koalas? They were shot dead? 진짜요?
Yeah.
Why? Why were they shot dead? What happened?
The koalas lived in Budgie National Park, which suffered a massive wildfire earlier this year, destroying over 2,200 hectares of land, including eucalyptus trees, the koala's main food source. With no food and severe injuries, the animals were reportedly suffering.
So they were like hungry?
네, 먹을 게 없어서.
They were starving?
Yeah. And 너무 충격적이어서.
This is like, I don't want to cry on air. Okay, so what happened?
And to reduce their pain, authorities decided to euthanize the koalas. Due to the park's rough terrain and the koalas' remote locations, helicopters were used to carry out the operation from the air.
So what did, that's kind of, okay.
It is.
I mean, I understand, okay, but what did wildlife officials say?
Lisa Palmer, head of Wildlife Victoria, said it was a tragic but necessary act. The kindest thing we could do for severely injured wildlife was euthanasia. James Todd, the state's biodiversity officer, added this decision wasn't taken lightly. Leaving the animals to suffer wasn't an option. Every koala was individually assessed and euthanized at close range using optical gear. But not everyone agrees.
Okay.
Koala ecologist Rolf Schlagloth criticized the method, questioning the accuracy of aerial shooting. He argued the real issue lies in the government's failure to properly manage koala habitats and native food sources.
Right. Just to clarify, though, koalas only eat eucalyptus. Like that's their only diet. So that I understand. But I think some people, they're not okay with like the method they were put down. Like 꼭 그렇게 like aerial meaning like from the air. Was that the only way they could have done it is I guess what people are questioning.
Yeah.
Right?
다른 방법도 있지 않았을까?
그니까요.
네.
그 약간 you know anytime something like that there's a question mark it kind of leaves you were there other methods is what
Right.
people are questioning.
그렇죠.
Okay.
All right, so now let's.
Please tell me you have a brighter story.
I have.
Okay.
Let's.
I 진짜 정말 눈물.
좀 더 가벼운 걸로.
가벼운 걸로.
네.
마칩시다.
Let's finish with a lighter story about the upcoming Golden Week in May.
Yes.
With a potential break lasting up to 6 days, you might expect people to be traveling, but that's not exactly the case.
Oh, by the way, though, our producer 예지 PD님, she's like typing away right now. Waivers, you know, some people are going like 오늘, 내일, 주말 포함해서 월, 화, golden holidays. Steve's talking about it right now. We're going live today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday. 다 라이브 방송입니다. Yeah. Okay, continue.
피디님 표정이 굉장히 좋으시네요. 네.
네. Okay. So how are people spending the holiday?
According to a recent survey of 2,000 people in their 20s, about 40% said they plan to stay home and rest, while some are heading out for domestic trips or day outings, or only 4% said they're going overseas.
Oh, okay.
Only 4%.
Really?
Yeah.
Only 4%? I'm not part of that 4%. Are you going? What are you doing?
I'm
riding
not
your
part
motorcycle?
of that too.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride my motorcycle. Yeah.
Like I want to be the 40% that plan to stay home and rest. 오늘 I'm in my girlfriend mode. I gotta go out with my hubby.
We're in a 60%, huh?
Yeah. So anyways, just locally in Busan.
네.
But okay, what about work during the holiday?
Nearly half of the respondents said they'll be off from May 1st to 6th. But over 40% reported they still have to work at least 1 or 2 days, meaning many won't get to enjoy the full break.
I have a question. Who gets tomorrow off? 내일 일 안 하시는 분. 내일 일 안 그 모닝은 하죠. 근데
네네네.
모닝은 돼. After you don't work, right?
Yeah, after now.
PD님. Okay. She's like. Okay, sorry. So
right.
where are people traveling domestically?
Top destinations
Yes.
include Gangneung and Sokcho, followed by Jeju, Yeosu, Tongyeong, Geoje, and Busan.
I know. I was waiting. I was like, 왜 부산이 안 나오지? I was getting nervous.
부산 나왔어요.
Okay.
그죠.
Okay.
And for international travel, Southeast Asia, Japan, and Europe were the most preferred regions. 네.
죄송해요. HK님. 내일도 일합니다. 오늘도 일하시다 하던데요. Isn't he a public servant? But he doesn't get the day off.
Yeah, right.
재봉님도 저 내일 일해. 죄송합니다. 배꼽 인사. 우리 둘 다 배꼽 인사.
네, 괜히 좋아했네요.
네, 죄송합니다.
근데도 내일은 쉬어야겠습니다.
네, 죄송하지 마십니다.
네네네.
With that though, but he's coming in for morning.
Yeah, right. 여러분들을 위해서.
방송은 합니다. 네.
그렇죠.
So we will check in with you tomorrow for Wagger Wagger, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're going to call it a wrap, and I will be back with your traffic and weather. Let's get your traffic report out to you. You know, because many people have the day off today, not all, there is light traffic. There's a car stalled on the shoulder of Bansonglo Seokdae four-way intersection going toward Bansong. So otherwise, there's no major congestion on the roads right now. Currently, it's 18 degrees right now. It's looking a little cloudy. It's going to go up to 21. Across the nation, in areas, it might be raining. And if so, that means thunderstorms and lightning are possible. So please watch out for safety hazards. Strong winds are also expected nationwide. Watch out for high waves along the east coast and be cautious of possible flooding along the west and south coasts. This was your traffic and weather. This is Sway by Michael Bublé.
When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with ease. But when you dance you have to bear with me, stay with me, sway with me. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway I go weak. I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway I go weak. I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with ease. When we dance you have a way with me, stay with me, sway with me. When marimbas start to play, hold me close, make me sway. Like an ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with me. When we dance you have a way with me, stay with me, sway with me.
This is our special interview. On April 22nd, a deadly attack in Kashmir killed 26 people, mainly Hindu tourists in the town of Pahalgam. A militant group first claimed responsibility, then later denied it, blaming a cyber hack. The attack has caused a sharp rise in tensions between India and Pakistan, with both countries taking strong military and diplomatic actions. We want to find out more about the situation, so we've invited Mona Bhan, who is the Ford-Maxwell Professor of South Asian Studies and Professor of Anthropology at Syracuse University. She's on air with us. Let's say hi first. Hi, welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So first, Professor, can you briefly explain the lead up? What triggered the recent tensions between India and Pakistan?
So as you said in your introduction, on April 22nd, an armed group of who we don't know yet who they were, killed 25 tourists, including a Kashmiri pony rider in the Baisaran area of Pahalgam in Indian-controlled Kashmir, and that's what triggered the tensions between India and Pakistan. Of course, what happened soon after the attack was accusations from India against Pakistan for, masterminding this what they called was a terror attack. Islamabad or Pakistan has denied these allegations, claiming that it was a false flag operation, which means that this was not perpetrated by Pakistan, but has been conspired or orchestrated by perhaps state agencies. Who knows what's really happened? But in the Indian imaginary, unfortunately, it is the Kashmiris who have been villainized as perpetrators of this violence, with claims that there's enough support on the ground by what the Indian state calls overground workers, without whom I think this would not have been possible. And this is unfortunately what the mainstream media in India has overwhelmingly focused on, is this narrative in which, Kashmiris are being villainized. Of course, unfortunately, what is overwhelmingly missing from these accounts is the ways in which Kashmiri tourist guides and pony operators were the ones who rescued many tourists, putting themselves in harm's way. In fact, one of them was killed. He took a bullet to save a tourist family. So that's unfortunately, but the bigger problem right now that we're confronted with is what's happening to Kashmiri students across India. And that's something unfortunately has not received enough coverage because Kashmiris have once again been villainized as terror sympathizers or terrorists. The students themselves, whether they're studying engineering or medicine or different colleges, enrolled in different colleges across the country, are being attacked.
Indeed.
Often violently, and they're being kicked out of their rented accommodations. They've been forced to flee these spaces. So there's a widespread fear among Kashmiri students. In Kashmir itself, this has now become a pretext to burn and bomb homes of alleged terrorists. And Kashmiri leadership and Kashmiri regular Kashmiris term it a collective punishment meted by the Indian state against Kashmiris. So quickly, what I want to address here is that, yes, while we need to focus on what's happening between India and Pakistan, that's very critical given, the weight of the situation geopolitically. But I think what this has revealed very clearly is that the Kashmir issue, which India thought was settled, especially after 2019, the abrogation of certain constitutional provisions that provided for self-rule, limited self-rule for Kashmiris. That was abrogated. But it clearly tells us that things are farthest from being settled. And Kashmir continues to, of course, offer this both an opportunity to India and Pakistan to finally come to terms yet again, figure out ways to resolve this long-standing crisis in accordance with people's aspirations for self-determination. Because this will have, whatever happens, is already had tremendous humanitarian consequences, most for Kashmiris, and then, of course, also for Indians and for Pakistanis.
Yes, Professor. Thanks for explaining the situation and, of course, the people who are most affected to our listeners. So in terms of the responses, at least from the two countries' sides, what have we seen thus far?
So, can I quickly add a little more context, because I do feel what's happened is there is so much focus on the moment, which is absolutely warranted.
Yes.
I don't disagree with that. But I think what we lose in this overwhelming, that we're so overwhelmed by this moment that we lose a sense of a deeper history and a deeper past.
Sure.
So we cannot, for example, understand what's happening in Kashmir without also looking back at 2019. For a lot of people, there's a lot of a sense of suffocation that set in Kashmir, which was, of course, sold to the Indian mainstream population as normalcy. So what's happening in the moment is that Kashmiris are coming out in mass protest and claiming that enough is enough. Both Pakistan and India have played enough games, geopolitical games, at their behest, and they need to stop doing it and using Kashmiris as pawns. So what you clearly see now is yet again the downgrading of diplomatic ties between India and Pakistan. India immediately after the attack responded by suspending bilateral trades, closing the Atari-Wagga border, crossing with Pakistan. That's one of the few places where the border is or was open. And this has, of course, impacted many families and separated them violently yet again. And, this is a border that's unfortunately seen and has been marked by so much violence and has been an instrument of separation for so many years since, of course, the partition. And yet again, it's doing something very similar in the moment. We also saw that India and Pakistan both canceled visas for Pakistani nationals in India and likewise for Indian nationals in Pakistan. I saw many stories of Pakistani patients, for example, now being refused treatment in Indian hospitals because, of course, they have to leave immediately. So things like that have been happening. Of course, militarily, which is, I know, cause for deep concern right now.
Sure.
Especially after Modi announced that Narendra Modi, who's India's prime minister, announced that the Indian military had complete freedom to choose the target, the scope, and the timing of the attack. Pakistan, I think yesterday, said that it had credible intelligence that India might now respond with a kinetic military response in the next 24 to 36 hours or so. This was yesterday. So we don't know what's going to happen, but one thing is clear, that this is, of course, leading to the hardening of borders. It's already impacting people and communities and forcibly separating them yet again.
Yes.
Vicious trail of trauma behind.
Yes, and so thank you for explaining, Professor. We're almost out of time already, so we're going to jump to our next question. So what has the reaction been like around the world to what's happening in this region, Professor?
So around the world, of course, there's been a lot of condemnation against the event itself. Pretty much everybody has said that this should not have happened. Of course, it was a grave tragedy.
Yes.
So that's what's happened. I mean, the U.S., Donald Trump's response was, kind of classic Trump response. We said, the conflict has been going on for 1,000 years or 1,500 years or so. But then Mark Rubio today, I think, was supposed to meet with representatives from the Indian and Pakistani governments to make sure that the conflict or the war does not escalate or the situation does not escalate on the borders. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I really don't think it's in the interest of any state to fight a conventional war or fight a full-fledged war. What's really alarming, of course, is that these are nuclear-powered states.
Right.
Both of them have nuclear weapons. And any form of escalation can unfortunately lead to, the gravest consequences for people in the subcontinent and beyond.
Indeed. So, of course, we're going to continue to watch the situation in this region. But thank you so much for explaining and giving context to the situation and what happened recently. Thanks for joining us today, Professor.
Thank you so much for having me.
This was Professor Mona Bhan, and we talked about the latest, this attack in the Kashmir region, and also the impact that it's having on the local people there as well. And that was our special interview. I'll be back in just a moment with Vasana. All right, everybody, it is now time for Buzz Breakdown. We have Vasana in the house.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm a little tired.
Why?
It's getting warm now. And
Yes.
warm in Busan means mosquitoes.
Oh, already?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
In your home or at school?
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm tired.
At home.
I was hunting mosquitoes.
Do you have the zappers?
I do. But
Not working?
At nighttime, it's very, very loud because no noise is around. So I can be a little thoughtful sometimes. I'm not always an ajay.
Hey, so today we're talking about your favorite destinations here in Korea. Like if you have family or friends
Yes.
that come visit. What is like the one spot you go, hey, you got to go here?
You got to go here?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be in Busan.
Okay.
If it's in Busan, that's great as well. But like, what is like your go-to, your most, like your favorite place? Like where would you recommend?
I like the beaches, but if somebody comes from New Zealand, it's New Zealand is just surrounded by sea. So
Yes.
I'd probably just take them to a shopping mall because we don't have many of them in New Zealand.
Oh, really?
Although you call them department stores, although I think they're shopping malls, aren't they? Sorry.
Yeah, here we call them department stores.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
shopping mall,
out
same
in
thing.
out in Gijang and those
outlets. The outlets that are
outlets.
They call them outlets, but you know, like in the States, outlets usually mean like things are like a lot cheaper,
cheaper,
like
correct.
80% off.
Yeah.
And then I went to the outlets here, and I'm like, where's all the sales?
I was the same.
Oh, they're like, it's the same price.
There's many things that come straight from the warehouse, straight from the factory to the place. It's actually meant to be a warehouse. sort of,
Exactly. I'm like, where
Why
are
is
the
it-
outlet prices?
Why is it so expensive?
All right, we're going to jump into a buzz breakdown. So what is this segment about? Like,
Yes, thank you
we're
for
gonna
writing down the name.
literally-
Buzz Breakdown, that's what it's called. We're diving into a word that's buzzing loudly these days. It's called doxing.
Doxing? What is doxing?
Doxing has been around for a long time.
Okay.
But I only just learned the word myself last week.
How do we spell it?
Doxing.
Oh, okay.
Is my New Zealand
DOX.
accent coming out? Doxing.
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 Yes.
It's the word comes from the shortened form of dropping documents.
Oh,
So D is
yeah.
the dropping part, and
Yes.
then doxing, documents, docs.
Oh, so basically we're talking about documents is 서류, right?
Yes.
Dropping. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Mm-hmm.
So in the early days of the internet, in the 1990s,
Yes.
I can't remember having the internet back then, but hackers and online groups were threatened to drop documents. And they still do these days.
Yes.
Meaning they would reveal someone's private information online.
아, 그러니까 서류나 문서를 유출하겠다, 이걸 위협을 한다는 그런 뜻이래요.
Yes.
So that's what the whole dropping documents
Dropping
means in
documents.
Korean. Okay, got it.
So over time, the phrase evolved from dropping documents
To doxing.
Doxing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So publishing their private information, real name, address, phone number, workplace, or even family details without their permission, and usually to harass or intimidate them because of something they've done that they don't like. Yeah.
So basically, we're talking about like, for our listeners who don't understand what we're saying, like, 그러니까 개인정보. Like we're talking about like 실명, their real name, like 주소, 전화번호, 직장.
Yeah. Or if
심지어 가족 정보.
Your birthday.
Oh, no.
That's why we don't like that.
Like, your personal information that you don't really want to share,
Yeah.
like, is being hacked, right?
Yes.
And then they unearth it, and then they just kind of release it.
Correct.
But the whole point is they release it with the
intent.
Yes. A bad intent.
Bad intent.
So they want to bother you. 그러니까 협박하고 뭐 위협 주려고 그러는 거죠. Yes.
It'd be nice if they had a good intent where you can give donations to this person at this address.
It's like, what was it? Benny was saying, like, May is his birthday month. Like, everybody's like, oh, hey, Benny, like, happy May.
Yeah, here's my
right?
bank account number. Please send me some money.
Yeah, it's not like that.
No.
It's like they want to harass you.
They want to harass you.
Okay, doxing.
So the reason we're talking about it today is because it's been a major issue in recent world news and this year, actually.
Yes.
So the headline that has happened in the last week was the Judge Lois Metcalf.
Okay.
So
Who is Judge Lois Metcalf?
So she's a judge in the States who became a target after she ruled in a court case.
Oh.
So this was, I'm not going to go too much into it, but it was a court case involving immigrants, and there's a big hot topic these days in America.
Okay. So we're not going to get into that.
That.
That's not the issue.
No.
Okay.
So I just want to cover what the word doxing
Yes.
And words associated with doxing.
Okay.
Other examples that have happened in the past, actually, it's in 2017 in America, they made it illegal to dox because some Republican senators were targeted. And so one person was caught, a staffer of the of the previous White House administration published names of senators who approved a Supreme Court judge they didn't like.
Oh.
And so they published all the names of those people involved.
I see.
And he was found guilty and sentenced to, I think, a few years in prison.
So this is quite serious.
Yes. So at the moment, they haven't been able to find the culprit who published Judge Metcalfe's details online. But if they did, it would be obviously illegal and they would prosecute that person. So in Korean news too, doxing has popped up, especially in the context of online gaming and K-pop fandom. So when a controversy happens, angry fans, or anti-fans, will release...
맞아요.
Will release a celebrity's private information as a way of punishing them.
Right. And then there's so many NoTubers these days that are publishing and mentioning things that they shouldn't be doing.
Yes. I think it's illegal in Korea, but I'm not, I didn't research that, sorry.
No. As far as I understand too, you shouldn't be publishing.
Oh, definitely not publishing.
Private information without someone's permission.
Yes.
Right.
Going on from that, I used to be eager to wish somebody happy birthday online. And now these days I don't do it. I just message them privately because if they haven't displayed their birthday on their website or whatever, on their Facebook FB page, then you shouldn't be saying happy birthday because you're revealing their birthday.
I didn't even think about that.
Because you've now got their name and their birth date. You're just one step away from a password, basically.
You're
for guessing the password. Yeah, because most people have a birthday as their password, even though we tell them not to.
Everybody, and you know what's the most common password? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Even they tell you not to. Yeah. And now most of the encryption, they always say you got to have 2 symbols and a uppercase and lowercase and mix it all up. But
so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, shift 1, 2, 3, 4.
Shift 1, 2, 3, 4. They tell you not to, but I think people also do it because they forget their new password.
Yes.
So they put in something that they think they're going to remember.
Yeah.
So don't do that. But going back to doxing.
Doxing.
Yes.
So, doxing can spread far beyond just the political and legal fights. It can spread to the public stage. And this is not just famous people. This can happen to anybody.
That's true.
Yeah. So be careful what you put online. Because not only is it out there, it's out there forever. Even though you press delete, it's out there somewhere. Okay, so other buzzwords you might hear in relation to doxing. One that was quite, not popular, but happened quite frequently and still happens now is swatting.
Oh, swatting. And we're not talking about swatting a fly.
Or in New Zealand, we use the word swatting for studying.
Really?
Yeah, SWOT. I have no idea where that word comes from. But
swatting is studying in New Zealand.
I think in Korea you say early morning study or all night study.
밤새다?
There's a 벼락치기.
벼락치기.
Yes.
Cram all night?
Yeah, cramming all night. So in New Zealand we say swatting. So when I first heard this name,
I learned something new.
And said, be careful of swatting. I was going, be careful of studying too hard.
It's a different SWAT.
Different SWAT.
So what SWAT are you referring to?
So this is when somebody calls the police and falsely reports a serious emergency, usually in America involving a gun. Like a hostage situation at the person's home.
So bad.
So this was very common on online gamers. That's what I was referring to before.
Yeah.
So they would get angry because their team has all been killed off. And so especially on those shooting games.
Yes.
So they would literally call a shooter the SWAT.
The SWAT team.
The SWAT team.
Like the police. They show up in the full gear.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
And so they would call the police with the SWAT team and they would go to the victim's home and usually they don't knock.
They break the door down.
They break the door down, rush into the house with guns.
With guns. Ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go.
That's crazy.
And usually the guy's still playing games online and he doesn't hear anything. And so that makes the SWAT team even
That's scary.
angrier
Of
because they
course.
haven't answered the door or haven't come or whatever.
Because they usually have like the headset on.
Correct.
들리지가 않잖아요.
Yes.
그러니까 누가 띵동해도 they can't hear it.
Yes.
And so obviously the police think, oh, we have the right house.
Correct.
Because they're not answering.
Not
But it
answering.
seems like someone's home, right?
Yeah. And also, if they've got the speakers on, you can hear gunfire.
Yeah, like...
So, yes.
That's terrible.
So that was another buzzword in
Yes.
relation to this. Doxware.
Yes.
Doxware. So it's kind of like malware.
Uh-huh.
So it's malicious software.
Ah.
So this steals your private information and threatens to leak it unless you pay a ransom.
So in Korean, we call it like 악성 software.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, malware.
Yeah, malware. So like a digital hostage situation.
Oh.
So this was very common, not popular, common a few years ago where they would steal a lot of hospitals' information. And so they must pay because people are going to die if they don't.
Right.
Yeah, if they
and it's
don't
like
pay
patient's
it.
information.
Yes, patient's information, etc., etc. Something which a lot of people in Korea, even my son, was involved with was on the wrong end of cyberbullying.
Oh, really?
Wrong end in regards to he was cyberbullied.
He was a victim?
Yeah, victim. So he wasn't. I hope he's not, but he wasn't. He was cyberbullied.
Okay.
So it's a form of cyberbullying. Doxing is a form of cyberbullying.
Okay.
So it happens through digital devices, which is everywhere these days. You can't live without your cell phone these days.
Yes, yes.
So smartphones, computers, and tablets.
Yes.
Privacy breach, when your personal data gets exposed either by hacking or doxing, the term is privacy breach.
네, 개인정보 침해 혹은 노출을 지금 의미하는 거예요. Privacy breach.
Yes.
So yes, I
and
mean...
I'm sure you've spoken a lot about this the last few days.
Indeed.
Yes.
Because of the whole SK Telecom
Yes.
issue.
Yes, yes.
But, I think that all of the terms that you brought up in connection with the whole doxing, the main term like swatting and doxware and cyberbullying and privacy breach, they're all interconnected though.
Correct. They're all
yes.
interconnected.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I mean, how can we protect ourselves? Can we?
You could turn your phone off and live in the mountains.
Like go off the grid?
Go off the grid.
Like, how do we explain going off the grid means basically 휴대폰 우리 태블릿 다 끄고 다 꺼요 그냥 디지털 become a digital nomad like just going off the grid.
I was just about to say like your grandfather, but these days I even see grandfathers.
Grandfathers are are cool and they're good on their gadgets.
They're very good on their gadgets these days.
Right. So we can't go off the grid.
No.
That is that's unattainable.
Yeah.
So
there's
what can
a lot
we do?
of SK after this, they released some things that you could download onto your phone for privacy. But
what else can we do? If aside from that, yes,
self-policing, like listening to your conscience. If you feel it's wrong, don't do it.
And also make unique passwords. Don't be using your birthday.
Yeah.
No, for real. I mean, I know, it's very tempting because, you're so used to it. And, when they say, update your passwords, you get that prompt. You do.
Yeah.
Your email or whatever, they tell you, switch your password every few months. And you're so lazy, me included. Don't be lazy.
What I hate is when you forget your password.
I know.
Then you make a new one.
And
then it says, this was your last password.
I know, and you can't use it again.
You can't use it again.
That's the worst. Right. But, so let's review. What did we go over today? We did doxing.
We did doxing, swatting, doxware.
Yes.
Cyberbullying, privacy breach.
Yes.
And,
off the grid.
Off the grid.
As well. Yeah. We threw that one in there.
Go live on actually, in regard to living off the grid,
yes.
Today was pretty good. Nobody was on the road, so I'm not sure if your traffic report was reflecting that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. We didn't have that many cars on the road.
No,
so
great.
You know what, though? Some people are working, so we don't want to...
we're working.
We're working.
We're working.
Yeah, and definitely other people are as well. So thank you, Vasana. We appreciate you being in the studio on Labor Day, and we'll check in with you next week.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. This was Buzz Breakdown. Still getting used to the names of all the news segments. Yes. And I do have a couple things that I do need to get out to you. First up, this PSA, because it's very important, this public service announcement from the Ministry of the Interior and Safety and the Korea Forest Service. Here are the evacuation guidelines in case of a wildfire. Cover your nose and mouth with a wet towel and stay low to avoid smoke. Follow evacuation orders immediately and go to designated safe areas. If hiking, avoid valleys and head to open areas or follow hardwood tree paths downhill. And if trapped, stay low with your back to the wind and clear leaves and branches around you. So this is from the Ministry of the Interior and Safety and the Korea Forest Service. And remember, in the traffic and weather, during the weather report, I did remind you that it's going to be a windy day across the country. And so we need to be extra vigilant when it comes to wildfires. That Daegu fire is still not 100% contained. So please be careful. As for some of your messages, I didn't even get to read your messages. So it seems like English Wiki says, my family and I like going to Gyeongju, renting bikes and riding around the area. I 100% agree. One of my favorite areas in Korea, Gyeongju. Love it. Leslie says, there are so many places I love in Korea. If I had to choose, it would be Nami Island in autumn. Ooh, Leslie, when are you coming back? We miss you already. So definitely when you come back, you got to visit us again. Michael Kim, who says, 저는 드넓은 대나무 숲이 일품인 울산의 국가정원 추천드려요. So he recommends that a forest in Ulsan. So we're going to call it a wrap for today. We're going to be live again tomorrow and Monday and Tuesday as well. This is a song request from Umberto. It's Gonna Be Me by NSYNC. So enjoy, have some dance time, and we'll be back tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Ooh, yeah. You might been hurt, babe. That ain't no lie. And go. Remember you told me that it made you believe in no man, no cry. Maybe that's right. Every little thing I do never seems enough for you. You don't wanna lose it again, but I'm not like them. Baby, when you find somebody, guess what? It's gonna be me. You got no choice, babe, but to move on. And you know there ain't no time to waste. You're just too blind to see, but in the end you know it's gonna be me. You can't deny, so just tell me. For you, you don't wanna lose it again, but I'm not like them. Baby, when you finally get to love somebody, guess what? It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me. Ooh yeah. There comes a day when I'll be the one you see. It's gonna be me.